What is man? If we want to understand what man is, his purpose, and the meaning of his life, then we'd best begin right here with a rake. Sounds odd, but it works. What is a rake? Let's say you've never seen a rake before. What would you do? Well, you would probably take a close look at it, at its various parts, and how they make up the whole. The first thing you might note is the long wooden thing. That could be a handle. And then there are metal parts. They look a little like teeth with gaps. Small things would be able to pass through these gaps, and big ones would get stuck. So, when you are looking at a rake, you are looking at a thing with a handle and metal teeth in which big things get stuck. Congratulations! This is exactly what a rake is. So, if we want to understand the nature and purpose of a thing, then we have to take a look at it. All right, let's go back to man and apply this technique. The very first thing that we can see is that man is a physical object with size and weight, just like a stone. But there is more. He is a living being. He takes nutrients and grows, just like plants. Like cows and other animals, he has senses that allow him to perceive the world around him. But there is even more. There is something that distinguishes him from other created things, even very clever ones. He has reason and will. With these two powers, he can know things and love them. These powers are what make man special. With this insight, we can also answer the question of all questions. What is the meaning of life? Why is man on earth? If reason and will are man's two distinctive abilities, then the answer must be man is here on earth to know and to love. And this is not limited to knowing how to get to a pizza place and loving the food that is served there. No. These powers aim at higher things, the knowledge of truth and the love of the good. So man is here on earth to know the truth and love the good. But isn't the meaning of life even more than that? Isn't man's final end and purpose somehow related to God? Of course, and here is how. We said that man is here on earth to know the truth and love the good. Now, what happens when man turns to the highest truth and the highest good? Well, that's when man enters the path of religion, for God is exactly that, the highest truth and the highest good. This is why the Catechism answers the question, why are we here on earth, in this way? Man is here on earth to know and to love God, and whoever knows and loves God will serve him and be happy with him in heaven. What is the soul? The soul is the principle of life and of unity in a living being. Sounds complicated, but it's not. Let's take a look at this chicken. Its name is Coco. Coco roams free and is happy. 3, 2, 1. Now, Coco is a dead chicken. On the outside, not much has changed, aside from her body posture, but there is an enormous difference. Whereas a few seconds ago, Coco was still a living unity, now she is neither a unified whole, nor living, nor, strictly speaking, even a chicken anymore. Now that she is dead, her body has begun to decompose. All the individual parts may amount to a heap, but not a unified whole. There is nothing which holds the parts together from within to form a living, unified being, a chicken. The principle, the cause, that which makes many diverse parts into one living unity, is known as the soul. Every living being, as such, has a soul. But when people talk about souls, don't we usually mean the soul of a man? That is true. Nowadays, when we speak about souls, we usually mean the soul of a human being. In the past, the ancient Greek philosophers talked in the broader way that we were just using, and they distinguished between the vegetative soul of a plant, the sensitive soul of animals, and the rational soul of man, which is a soul with the capacity to know and to love. Naturally, the philosophers were especially interested in the human soul and spent much time discussing its powers and qualities. That is why today, whenever we speak of a soul, it is typically in reference to the rational soul of a human being. Now, why is the soul of a man so unique? Well, because of the two powers that belong to man alone: reason and will. These faculties go beyond the limits of matter, making the soul something spiritual. Two exciting things follow from this. First of all, since material things can only generate material things, but nothing spiritual, the soul must have another origin. This origin is God. Every human soul is directly created by God. Secondly, material things have parts. Consequently, they can break and fall apart. The soul, on the other hand, is spiritual. It has no parts. It cannot break or be destroyed. The human soul is immortal. So, let us summarize. The soul is the principle of life and unity in a living being. Nowadays, when we speak about the soul, we commonly mean the human soul. And the human soul is so special because its powers give it a spiritual quality, by which we know that the soul is created by God and immortal.